Hi guys. Let me know what the sound quality is like. I know the quality is going to be a little bit different because I'm not using my microphone because it's still getting unpacked. Well, it hasn't been unpacked quite yet. Because I've only been in town for less than 24 hours actually. No, a little bit over 24 hours, I think. So let me know what the sound quality is like for you guys because I'm only using my headphones, so it might be a little bit different than what it is you guys are used to. But in the event that it isn't, we can finesse some shenanigans. I don't know where Polly is, but he'll get here eventually, I'm sure. We'll see. But until then, I guess I should probably update everyone on what's been going on. Since my last stream in last week, cocktail hour, and then the impromptu Weebo is having a breakdown stream, right? That was on Wednesday. And today is Sunday, and a lot has occurred in the times since then. Like, a lot. But first, I need to make sure that I am live, right? Like, live, not just talking to myself. Why it looks so different? Because I'm not using my normal setup, so the camera adjustments are a little bit different, plus the lighting is weird, plus it's all very strange. I just updated my quality. Oh, everyone's watching Biden versus Bernie. Yeah, I figured. I just updated my software for my camera, from my webcam, so that's probably another reason why it's different. Is my really red? I guess it's kind of that red. It might also be the fact that the lighting is weird in here. It's very red in the background as well as in the lighting that's coming from the actual thing. Anyway, so sound quality is good, at the very least. I don't really care exactly if it looks that much different, but sound quality is good, right guys? Thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm exhausted. I'm honestly beat. Like, dead. Has the debate begun? I don't know. I haven't really had the opportunity to pay that much attention to much of anything the last couple of days. Shit's been wild. I've had all of my own personal issues to take care of and just, ugh. Only now has it kind of settled down a little bit. I kind of had dinner with boyfriend. I brought him dinner while he was at work because he works on Sundays at his second job. But in addition to that, I had dinner with Dad and we watched some of The Last Samurai, which is one of his favorite movies. Then I've been unpacking all day. We found a leaky faucet in the upstairs bathroom, so I had to handle that as well. I gotta snake the bathtub drain because I found out that was clogged at some point last night while I was showering. So it looks like I won't be kept not too busy the next couple of months. My schedule has significantly opened up unexpectedly, and I find myself out of a job. Which is fine. It means I can go help my grandmother clean out her house and organize all the stuff left behind by my grandpa when he passed, and help her kind of move on from that. Yeah, I'm trying to find plans to occupy myself, but I don't know how feasible some of those plans are going to be. Like, because she lives at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes away on a bad day. And so, if we do go into a lockdown state, she's by herself in her house, and no one can get to her. I don't know what happens in the event that that occurs. I mean, she's got enough food stocked up. She's one of those people. She remembers the Depression and how that affected her family, but I don't know how she'll manage without socializing with people on the daily basis. Oh my god, the amount of phone calls I'll probably get from her is just insane. I need to open up Streamlabs, don't I? And I need to open up another one for the comment section, I think. No, I can just watch it on StreamYard. If I miss anything, let me know, guys. I'm working off of only one screen today, so we're drastically reduced in the Weebo productions over here. I haven't finished unpacking yet. Granted, it's only been less than 24 hours since I've been home, so I mean, I get a little bit of slack here, I think, in this department. Are you okay, Weebo? You seem a bit out of it. I'm tired. I'm still reeling at the fact that we just got kicked out of school, essentially. My school sent a text message earlier today to all of the people who remain on campus, but I got it too because they sent it through the emergency text system. And the text read, let me go find it. Deadline to leave campus housing has moved up to Monday at 5 p.m. So initially the plan was to have everyone out by Friday, this coming Friday, but now that's been moved up to tomorrow at 5 p.m., which doesn't leave a lot of wiggle room. And apparently, according to one of my friends who's still on campus, it was nuts. People were, she said, people were coming out like ants. Didn't know so many people had stayed, which I get, because no one really wanted to leave. The only people that were really getting rushed out were people who were in Greek housing, but now it's everybody, and so everyone's just kind of like trying to freak out. And then there are some people who can't get off campus by then, who've petitioned for extended housing stay, who haven't been granted it yet. There are people who can't go home because they're international students, or perhaps because they just don't have the resources at home left to finish off campus shenanigans, or maybe even their hometown is being quarantined right now, and so they can't get home, and they're still waiting to hear back from the school about whether or not they can stay on campus. So it's absolutely insane right now. Spirit Thief. Now many people understand my OCD. Wash your hands, worry about everything you touch, and that touches you. Soon they'll be wiping everything with Lysol wipes. Mwahaha. Feel my pain, world. I don't feel like it's that big a deal still. I don't feel like I'm in a crisis panic mode right now. And I've been told that I should, but it just, it doesn't feel like the illness itself is the thing that I should be freaked out about. It's everyone else's reaction to the illness, the COVID-19. Did Balak come back with me? Asked Irate Prostate. No, he went back with his parents. His mom and his dad came to get him the same day that I left, which was when my aunt and uncle came down to get me. Well, they helped me move like 3 things that I had that I couldn't fit in my car, but I packed up my car and left yesterday and got home yesterday at 5. My cousin, they helped him pack up and they brought him home, and he's at home resting. I saw him for the first time since before he broke his leg, which he was super irritated. Like, I think he has more of a right to be irritated than I do, because at least I got my last hurrah around the campus with Balak and my friends. He had to watch the Snapchat stories from home because he was on bed rest essentially after his surgery, so that was rough for him. Ryan Walters, did Bonsai come back with you, Weebo? No. So yesterday Friday night while I was packing up my car to leave, I found Bonsai outside. And not just like outside, because I would have understood if the cat just got outside because someone left the door open. But in order to have the cat get outside, you'd have to leave the indoor door open, the door that separates our apartment suite to the stairwell. But then you would have also had to have left the door to the stairwell open as well. And the fact that she was minus a collar leads me to believe that the Asians were trying to ditch her, because for whatever odd reason they couldn't bring her back. They didn't want to tend to a cat. They didn't have to want to worry about housing a cat when housing was kind of up in the air for them, which I get, but also that's bullshit. You could have dropped it off at any pet store location. To have adopted a cat from a young age and make it a house cat and then just ditch it irked me. Balak was talking about calling the cops if they actually did end up leaving it, but luckily we had another roommate who was willing to take it in. And their parents brought a cat carrier down, for as what my understanding was. And so that was really lucky actually. So she made sure to clear it with the Asians before she left, so that ends up working out correctly. But still, it irks me a lot that is something that happened. Did I sent Polly the link, didn't I? I totally did. Oh, he's running a little late, driving home now. We'll be there in 6 to 8 minutes. That was more than 6 to 8 minutes ago. So we should see Polly show up here any moment now. Other roommate didn't take it as far as he knows. Oh, hi, Balak. He's in the chat. How are you doing? Did you bring wood and oil, says Golden Age Radio. Like home with me? I did not. We have plenty here. I'm not worried about if we have to go into quarantine at my dad's house, to be quite frank. We're good. We have well water, we have a generator, we have food. There are only 2 of us, and we have plenty to do. I mean, this house could definitely use some shenanigans. I have sewing projects that need to get done, and all that jazz. Oh, okay. Our friend at college was trying to find Bonsai a home, apparently, says Balak. It was a callback to the meme. What meme? Yeah, I'm still a little out of it, low-key. I did not get as much sleep as I would have liked. Low-key. High-key, actually. In addition to that, I've been packing and unpacking. I did like 58 flights of steps yesterday. I did 20,000, steps, like in general, not just counting stairs. And that was with or without boxes, too. Like, a lot of that was up and down stairs with boxes in my hands. It's nuts. It was nuts. It's still pretty nuts. My room is an absolute nutcase right now. Like, it looks like a tornado went through here. I'm ashamed to say, because I've just been doing all these little things to have enough space to store my life in. Because I live... this is actually smaller than my room at college, I think. Plus, there's a lot more shit in here now, too. So I have to get rid of clothes, which I was going to do anyway. It's spring. I gotta go spring cleaning. I gotta get rid of shit. It be like that. But, yeah. How is everybody? Are we all suffering the effects of the virus? Balak, how are you doing? Oh, I was essentially asking if COVID still led to you graduating. As far as I know, graduation's still on. As far as I know. I don't know if they're going to change that. I don't know what's going to happen in the event that they don't. Or in the event that we don't have graduation, if they're just going to mail our diplomas to us or what have you. But yeah. As far as I know right now, it's still on. Unless something changes. In which case, you'll be the first to know. Because I'll be bitching about it. Because I bitch about things. What else? All of my projects and whatnot, anything that would have been due, like in the next week or so, everything's been pushed back to after spring break. So I have until at least the 31st, I think. I'm unsure about dates, but it's after spring break. I don't know what we're doing for spring break, if that's still on, which there's a chance that it might not be on, which is unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. What else? What else? What else? Oh, my cousin's on his way back to Barcelona. Back from Barcelona. He'll be back home in the States, I believe, tomorrow. And instead of going home, his parents are sending him off with a car to Wisconsin to wait the 2 weeks because they don't want to take the chance that he might be infected. So he'll be in the north, quarantined by himself. Not at the cabin in the woods, at the property next to the cabin in the woods because my aunt and uncle have property up there as well. So he'll be quarantined with a whole bunch of food because they can't risk that he gets his dad sick. His dad is a company owner. He's the breadwinner of the family, and my aunt can't work because she's a violin teacher, and so she's just suspended all lessons for the next 2 weeks, which means that she's not making any money in this crisis. So that's a thing. It's good to hear, Lion Patriot, whose dad is recovering nicely from his hernia surgery. I am pleased. So does that move up the side quest resurrection schedule? No, because technically I'm still a student and I haven't graduated yet. As of right now. That does not move up the schedule, unfortunately. That just gives me a lot more time to prepare for the resurrection of the Nameless Thief. So there's some good news, I guess. Still figuring out how to use the Walmart grocery app so I don't have to leave the house for food. I've never actually used it. Let me know if that's a success, because maybe, perhaps, I'll find myself doing that. Oh, today, if you're wondering what this nice little red line is on my nose, I took a drawer to the face while I was moving in and out. Took a drawer to the face, and it was full of a whole bunch of nail polishes, and it came at me like at a diagonal way, so it went right into my face. And oh my god, it hurt like a bitch. Did not enjoy. We're nice beasts. I feel outnumbered here. Why do you feel outnumbered? What's wrong? Golden Age Radio. Hopefully I will concede with the introduction of Lord Tarek of Sarthos. He will have some words with her. Never steal a dope head's drug stash. I would never. Just kidding. I'm sorry that I feel out of it. I look out of it. I'm probably just, I sound out of it, definitely. It's been a long couple of days. A very long couple of days. It doesn't feel like it's real, to be quite honest. You know? Like, it feels not like I'm home for the semester because it's all canceled. It feels like I'm just here on a break. Like I'm here for spring break or whatever, and then I'll go back home. Or summer break. It's like I'm home for summer break. Because I'm unpacking everything, but I'm also still learning. You look like you haven't slept. I've slept, I just feel like absolute shit. I'm exhausted. But I've been well fed, so there's that. There is that. On the bright side, I have a whole bunch of free time, so maybe I can, like, spend it babysitting, catching up on all the projects that I've got kind of just in the wind at the moment. I'll finish writing my book, and we can get that out by the end of the year. What else? What else can I do with this amount of time? Keep applying to jobs. Although I have heard that a lot of companies have been laying people off and kind of putting hiring practices on hold, so I don't know how fruitful that effort will be. As I mentioned, I have some sewing projects that definitely need to get done, so there's that. You can make more videos. Oh, well, that was a no-brainer. I was going to do that anyway. I just haven't had a chance to make any videos at the moment because, well, you see, unpacking and all that jazz. Where is Polly? He said 6 to 8 minutes. That was well over 6 to 8 minutes ago. I hope he hasn't crashed. That would suck. Fingers crossed, guys. I hear the medical field is in demand now. Yeah, well, it's unfortunate that I am not in the medical field. I am a computer scientist. Although I hear remote stuff is quite popular at this point. Maybe I could instruct people on how to do e-learning correctly. So how is everybody? Has anyone been massively affected by this more so than I am? Because I would love to hear it gets worse. I made a joke to Balik. I don't know if he's still here, but I made a joke to Balik. Basically, it was he was on the phone with his mom, and I said something about how this better be the worst fucking plague to ever hit us in the entire world, because if it's not, then I'm gonna be pissed that I was inconvenienced for nothing. Essentially, I've just wished death upon millions and millions of people for the sake of my own fifis, which I know is bad. But come on, guys, it would piss me off less, honestly. No, I joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Yeah, Polly does run on his own fucking time zone, Gil. Is it Gil? Guil? Guil. Can you send that out for me, because I am not the best reader, especially when it is that I'm having like an internal crisis. Joys of Sorrow. Yes. There is no bread, eggs, canned goods, TP tissue, and even meat in many stores near me. Oh, fuck. I haven't even been to the store yet, but boyfriend says when he went to Jewel yesterday, it was a nightmare. And he only went for like a case of Mountain Dew, because he's got his priorities straight. I just, but yeah. Because that's what boyfriend do. So he just went to a gas station instead and got that there. Gas stations seem like pretty well stocked in contrast to the grocery stores. Which, pro tip, if you're hungry, go to a gas station rather than the grocery store, because apparently they're not hit. No one's thought to go to the gas stations. Fat platypus. Polly is just like a black dad, but ain't black. Yeah, no, I know. I can attest to this fact. That is interesting. The phenomenon that has surfaced is there are no there's no toilet paper. There's a distinct lack of toilet paper everywhere. Um, in the event of a zombie apocalypse. What is that about? Or not a zombie apocalypse, just an apocalypse in general, or a crisis. Everyone starts hoarding toilet paper. I mean, I get it. It's a luxury that I would prefer to have in abundance in the event that, we stop manufacturing completely in all aspects of life because the world is ending, but we haven't done that yet. Is that what people think the next step is? I don't get it. Go to rural areas, there's still groceries there. And I would expect there to be. Here's the thing, right? Okay? And that actually brings up a good point. My school, where it is that I go to college, or used to go to college, yeah, that's depressing. Where it was that I used to go to college was in the middle of nowhere. Like, cornfields surrounding all sides. You'd have to drive several miles, at least 30, to get to your nearest Chick-fil-A, right? I would have been safer there than I am back home. Back home, I live in the west suburbs of Chicago. You tell me what has more risk of suffering an outbreak. Honestly. Like, honestly. Connor Johnson, there's this movie that came out last year called Uncut Gems. It stars Adam Sandler in what might just be his best performance of all time. That's the one where he is not being a goofball, right? That's the one where he's being like an actual serious actor for once in his entire career. Not don't get me wrong, I love me a good Adam Sandler movie. I don't know why. It's mindless enough that I enjoy it and I don't have to overthink it, and I can understand if it's not like top-notch quality, spectacular, because no one's overselling it to me. It's an Adam Sandler movie. I Did I? Did it buffer? Was that what was going on? Means that I'm back home. Crappy Wi-Fi means I'm back home. That's what that means. Fat F. I'm sorry, guys. Stockpile dry butt white pellets. Soak them in water, unravel them, and do your business. You can buy them by the hundreds for dirt cheap. I did not know they made those. Dry butt wipe pellets. Okay. Noted. Will do. You froze for like 4 seconds. Okay. Fun stuff. Good times. Love that. Yes. I'm sorry, guys. I really do feel out of it. Like, I promise I won't cry, but I can't bring myself to be the happy-go-lucky, cheery butthole that I usually am right now. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm really cynical right now, so forgive me. Connor Johnson, I had never been to a Chick-fil-A until only 3 months ago. Their products are mouth-watering and they put KFC to shame for sure. I agree. I hadn't been to a Chick-fil-A since junior year of college when Balak and his girlfriend took me and my boyfriend out to Chick-fil-A, and I had a spiritual experience. That's what I would call it. Their mac and cheese is delicious. Definitely try it. Why do you think people hoard TP but pass up the isopropic alcohol? I don't know. Honestly, I could not tell you. Maybe it's because they've had the that supernatural episode where Chuck, who is God, is telling everyone to hoard toilet paper. It was just like, that was the start of this phenomenon, and now it's just gotten completely out of hand. Polly, are you there?
Hello.
Why do you think everyone hoards TP?
I blame the news media.
Yeah?
Yep.
They've been telling us to hoard toilet paper?
Yes.
Or the fact that they're
No,
telling us not to hoard it is what's making everyone hoard it?
there's like a viral um, video of some people fighting over toilet paper, and then it gets repeated again and again, and news media talking about, oh my God, people are hoarding toilet paper, and then
That's probably it. That psychological effect of, oh, well, if it's that important to people, then, we must have it in large supply just in case. I
yeah,
also think that there's something psychological about the effect of seeing it be out at home or being low. Not out at home, but like seeing it be low at the store and then thinking, oh, so maybe I do need some of this because it's about to not be a thing that I can buy anymore because it's
yeah.
in low stock. That means it's in high demand, which means that people need it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, is that your new avatar?
Hazmat Otter.
That's adorable.
He's
Oh,
ready.
excuse me. Thank you, Devil Fruit Zero, for the donation. A $10 super sticker. What am I looking at here? There we go. See? I can do that. How are you, Polly?
Doing okay.
Yeah? How's
Mm-hmm.
your quarantine situation going right now?
Well, as you can see, I'm decked out with an independent air supply and a hermetically sealed suit to block
That's
me
nice.
off from the surrounding environment. So I'm good.
That's good. Good. I am pleased to hear this. I'm in better spirits than I was on Wednesday when we last spoke.
I'm really glad to hear that. Actually,
Still feeling a little bit dead though, but just because I'm exhausted. They the original plan for me was to not leave until Friday. But that is no longer possible even if I were to stay past yesterday. Because one, they moved up the evacuation mandatory date by like 4 days, so to Monday. Yesterday, no, yes, Saturday? No, Friday, I got an email from the school telling us that if so much as one person was diagnosed, or if we had one case of COVID-19 on campus, then in the event that that happened, anyone still left on campus would be forced into a 2-week quarantine. And I did not want to stay on campus for 2 weeks in quarantine in addition to however long I would have had to stay there anyway. So I got the fuck out of Dodge. I quit my job that moment, essentially, because I had told them I could work all next week, but nope. Quit my job, started packing that night, got done the next morning, and drove the 4.5 hour drive home pretty swiftly. So I'm home.
Are you're looking rather red this evening? Everything's got a um,
Yeah, so I'm
scarlet
working.
hue. Is that the camera, or are you in a?
I think that's the camera, the
You're
software. I
not in a
just
red light district.
no, I just updated my software and it's probably not preset correctly. But I didn't have a lot of time to do that because, like I said, I've been packing. I've been unpacking all day. So that's the thing.
I can
Yeah, yeah.
understand that.
They told us to fuck off in less than a week. So they told us Wednesday to be out by next Friday. And then today they got a message saying you have to get off campus by tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah. I have a friend whose parents are in Honduras right now. She's currently on campus packing with minimal aid because, she can't go to the store and get the shit that she needs to pack up stuff. So she's got boxes that the school provided, which are absolute shit, but they don't provide any packing tape. So she's just folding the box in a way that's, it's going to stay folded. But when you are rushing to put everything, your entire life, into cardboard boxes, you can't situate it in such a way that it's not going to fall out the bottom because that's certainly a likelihood. Plus, she's got to go up and down stairs to get out of her dorm,
Sure.
and that's a thing. So the school is going to reimburse you financially. So Thursday morning, I did go to the school, the Student Academic Affairs office, and I asked them point blank. So, money
So with
back.
the money, yo.
What am I gonna get? And the lady told me that they were having meetings that day. We'd have an email by the end of the day or the next day at the end of the day. We've still not gotten that email, and I've been told now that those talks are happening over the next 2 weeks. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep bugging them though, because I'm a little bit salty. Salty as fuck. Because, all right, let's do the math here. Our bills are due on the first of the month, right? Our payments.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks from now, it will be the 29th of March. They'll probably not inform us on that Sunday. They'll probably inform us on a Monday, the 30th, which is 2 days from the first of the month. So that's cutting it really goddamn close to payday. That's if they inform us within the 2 week time period I was informed of. So knowing my school, I do not give them the benefit of the doubt in this instance. We will see, though. I'm a little bit salty about it. It's fine.
So you've said.
Yeah.
I also got screwed for fees. I can commiserate
you?
with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's your school doing?
Well, they shut down all kinds of things, and I went to the graduate students registrar office, and I talked to them, and I'm like, okay, so all those things that I no longer have access to, I'm going to get prorated on all of those fees that I paid, right? And they're like, unfortunately, the administration office hasn't made a decision regarding the. Yeah. In other words, hurry up and wait. We'll let you know. And in my opinion, what they're going to end up doing is reimbursing a small amount of the fees, very, very small amount that doesn't come anywhere close to the amount that they should. Like, you didn't have access to all of these things that you're paying for. Let's say let's just say for a grand total of 90 days, right? They're going to pay you for like 30 days of that because of a whole bunch of things. Universities don't pay out money. They take in money.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, here's the kicker, right? Our school, they take the money that we give them in payment chunks and they use it immediately after they've gotten it to do whatever it is that they do. So that's pay professors, that's pay for faculty that's to pay for food and whatnot because, like, I mean, that makes sense. Um, but I don't know what they're gonna do. That does open them up to some sort of lawsuit, though, Zelthor, and a class action at that. Watch y'all get ripped off. Yep, all right. That's probably what's gonna happen, Loki. I expect that. Oh, on the bright side though, because I didn't expect to get back all of the money that I didn't like end up because I don't expect to be reimbursed in the correct amount that I'm owed, I decided to do one last FU to the school essentially. Balik and I went to the local restaurant, the one that the school owns, and where our waiter essentially works. And you can tip with your flex dollars. You can pay for food there with your flex dollars, which
But
is like
did you
school
tip
allocation.
out all your flex money like you said? Did you
Yeah, I
do it?
did. Mm-hmm.
Aw.
The three of us had a combined tip for our waiter of $397,
Yay.
which felt good. We actually made him cry. It was bad. Um, we we made him cry after he gave us our things back, and then I think he went to the bathroom to actually start crying, and then we left, and we ran into him as he was coming out of the bathroom, and it still looked like he was like very close to breaking down. He could not articulate a sentence to save his life. He was just overwhelmed. I felt a little bit bad because we just kind of sprung that on him, but at the end of the day, I wasn't going to get that money back anyway. I didn't want the school to get that money completely.
Right.
He deserves it, especially now that he's kind of out of a job because he relies on the income he gets when it is that we're on campus as students. So, I think we did good. Plus, we like that guy. And we'll come back and, you know, this will be one of those things that we talk about for the rest of our lives. Like, oh, hey, do you remember that guy, that waiter? Yes, he'll work. He'll probably work there too for the rest of his life because that's like his thing. That's what he does. Because he's not a young man. It's not like he's a college student. He's older, like
He's a
not
townie.
elderly. He's a townie essentially. That's what he does for a living. So it felt good to make the most of a shitty situation of our last meal there at that college restaurant. And speaking of college students who are shit out of luck financially, not reimbursed by their school, Polly's links are left in the description, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to help reimburse Polly for his lost financial gains, you can do so at the link found in the description to Polly's
His,
Streamlabs.
his lost financial gains.
You need it more than I do, I think.
Do you have any idea how much grad student fees are? You don't even
Probably a
want
lot
to talk
more.
about it.
Yeah, probably a lot more.
You know, the person I'm doing research for right now.
Huh?
You know, the person I'm doing research for right now.
Oh, I'm intimately familiar with their work. Yeah.
Actually said to me, this was a real conversation. It's like, because of the COVID-19 situation, this was by email. I will not be conducting in-person conversations or consultations with any of the research associates or grad students or whatever. I actually started writing an email to him to say I would feel amiss and possibly at a loss had we ever actually met in person one time.
You've not met this person that you're doing research for?
No. No, Polly's mic is out. Can't
Oh,
hear.
no, he's messing with you. Don't ignore irate prostate.
Yeah. All right.
Ignore him. He's just pulling your
Damn
leg.
you, irate prostate, with my ongoing microphone problems. That's not funny. You know, the media is pissing me off. I mean, they always do, but particularly now. And by the media, I mean the news and entertainers. I wake up this morning. Well, I've got like a throbbing headache and a pounding sinus, and I'm like, oh no, COVID. And
you're gonna die.
Right? I bastards.
Yeah, no, low key. My dad had a coughing fit earlier today, and I'm like, oh no, Dad, are you okay? Do you have the coronavirus? And he's like, yep, yep. We've been messing with each other about it all day long, ever since I got home. He's not taking this seriously either. He thinks everyone's just getting into, I don't know, they're working themselves up over nothing. And I'm inclined to agree. I think that the media has manipulated us into a situation where there's mass hysteria and they get all of the clicks from it because literally all that anyone can talk about is this situation, how it's affecting their life, how it's affecting the lives of their loved ones, the fact that we're all out of toilet paper, and the fact that, the government's not doing their goddamnedest. This works completely in their favor. So, of
Renee,
course, they're going
that
to
that
talk about it.
that burning when you pee, that's not COVID. Okay, I understand, a tendency to go towards the Asian ladies of leisure. Okay, yeah, but they didn't give you COVID. It was something else.
Yeah, no, that's not what they gave you. They gave you something else. Mm-hmm.
Not saying that you make use of them. I'm just saying if you did, yes, something else.
But yeah, the virus is topical, and so as a result, everyone and their mother is talking about it. And the only way to get more clicks than your opposition or your competition is to be more hyperbolic about what's going on.
Yeah, I watched the CNN special on the coronavirus. It was special, all right. it was it was all of the regular people that they have. Your David Axelrod, Van Jones, Anna Navarro, Anderson Cooper. It's not like they had a bunch of medical practitioners or virologists or epidemiologists or anything. No, it's just the regular people that they usually have on CNN sitting around. There was fucking 10 of them in their round circle of idiocy. And the whole thing was about this president hasn't stood up and blah blah blah. And I will think that and if this president had done such and such and such and such a situation, and there isn't one person, well, look back to then President Barack Obama's handling of the swine flu or the Ebola outbreak. No, it's a completely different situation. Oh, you can't even know. No, racism. It was terrible. I watched the whole thing. It was in the background, but I was just like, are you guys gonna like bring on a doctor or, like I said, like a virologist?
Can we get an expert up in here, please and thanks?
Yeah. See, my nose is just a little runny. It's because it's cold outside, and I was just outside.
No,
I just drove
it's because
home.
you're dying of COVID-19.
I've got the COVID.
Yeah. I'm a COVID graduate now, Polly, because this is my last semester, and I will have graduated the semester that the COVID outbreak happened. So that's what I will forever be remembered as by my school and by my peers.
Mm.
Fun stuff.
Oh, thank you, Lion Patriot. For the $5, someone dog napped my neighbor's doggo, Freckles. Luckily, she was found. Lou, another neighbor dog, was very happy to see Freckles again.
That's good.
What? Is that a true story?
I guess. Was that from Lion Patriot?
Yes.
Then yes. Most likely.
That's an oddly romantic story. That's like, what's the Disney story about the two dogs,
The Lady and the Tramp?
Yeah, they eat the one piece of spaghetti.
Yep, that's Lady and the Tramp.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever
You just made
seen...
neighborhood dogs romantic. Well done, Lion Patriot.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
Zombie Teddy. Did go to basically live in University Hospital. I'm fucked either way if the wolf flu is a thing or not. Yeah. If the wolf flu is a thing or not.
You guys want some advice? This is something you haven't heard anyone say. I'm willing to bet. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm willing to bet. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you contract the the COVID flu, right? You get the Wu flu. Here's what's very, very likely, and I mean high 90s% chance of what's going to happen. Okay, you feel a little sick. It's going to be a flu. You're going to have achy joints. You're going to feel very lethargic. You're going to sleep a lot of fluids. You should be taking in a lot of fluids. You're not going to be terribly hungry. You're going to have headaches. Okay, you're going to run a small fever. Okay, you're going to be bedridden for a little while, like
Yeah.
10 days on the outside. Right, you're not going to feel very good. Okay, you're going to be communicable, which means you should kind of stay away from people. You should go coughing on people, that kind of thing. Right, and it's going to go away. That's going to be the most likely run out, unless you have some kind of compromised immune system because of some kind of prescription treatment you're under or medical condition you currently have. But putting those things aside, that is going to be the course of your situation, right? Like, again, very, very high 90% chance that's what's going to happen to you. But here's my advice to you in that situation. Don't tell anyone you have the coronavirus. Lie. Tell everyone, friends and family, no, I went to the doctor, I was tested, it is normal influenza. I do not have the coronavirus. Because you know what? After watching news entertainers talk about this fucking thing, no one's going to come near you. You're going to be Typhoid Mary. It's going to be like 2 years from now, and your friends are not going to want to shake hands with you. You're going to be with your buddies, and you're going to let a little cough, and people are going, oh my God, he's going to kill us all. Just, seriously, think about it.
It'll be like the thing that follows you for the rest of your life.
Yeah. You know, that guy had COVID,
like AIDS.
right? Yeah. Yeah, it'll be like you have AIDS. Like I said, 2 years from now, people will just be like, that guy's got COVID, man. He must have ate the bats. It's just, don't do it. I got regular influenza.
I just had a flu. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
What's funny? Okay, you remember when I got back from France?
Go on.
Well, do you remember?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to start. It's like,
no, that was, I paused there so you could answer yes or no.
It just kind of like Weebs was lost in French reverie there for a second.
Yes. Remember when I was in France? No,
yes,
remember when I came back from France?
I do remember when you went to France. Yes.
Yeah, immediately after I got sick.
Huh.
It wasn't the coronavirus. It was just a regular old head cold.
Right.
And
fucking Zombie Teddy with the yummy bats. Stop it. Stop it, Zombie Teddy.
But yeah, I made that joke in February? No, yeah, it was in February, I think. I made a video about it too and everything, and it was like, update, am sick. And that was the joke, and now it's like, you can't joke about that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
People be strange. It's the, and people freak out when you say it is just a flu. That's a literal statement of fact.
It is.
And it's like, yeah, it's got a higher mortality rate, and it's like, and it's spreading. Yeah, but the problem isn't that it's a more deadly flu than anything else. It's the rapidity with which it. I mean, that's how Spanish influenza did so much damage. It was the rapidity it spread with, thus a breakdown in lines of shipping and so forth, and how quickly everybody got sick, and overwhelming medical supplies. Like it.
It's not the actual illness itself. It's the psychological effect of the illness.
Yeah. You know what it's reminding me of? And I compared this in a university meeting. I said, this is having the same effect as a dirty bomb. Because there was a whole bunch of people who do hard security, what gets called hard security, like, not wishy-washy stuff like human security, water security, resource security. Like, we're talking like national security, guns and bombs is what people always refer to it as, even though it has very little to do with that. Do military stuff and things like that, or intelligence, or high-end diplomacy. Those counts as hard security. In any case, it always comes up that like a dirty bomb is one of the most psychologically powerful weapons you can use. The actual effect of having radiological material in a device, in an explosive device that you then set off in a public area, isn't the radiation that it causes. The damage is actually very minimal. You haven't caught. It's not a fission bomb. You actually haven't set off an atomic explosion. You know what I mean? You just exploded something and spread a bunch of radiological material through an area. No, it's not good, and it's worse than a regular bomb, yes, but
But it's not the end of the world.
no, you haven't irradiated the area like you have with a fission bomb. Not even close. And the destructive potential is limited to the destructive potential of whatever high explosive or whatever you had inside of the bomb itself, whether it be plastique or just regular gunpowder or whatever, dynamite, whatever you used. But the psychological effect of it, oh my God.
Yeah.
They set off a radiological device. Ah, can you imagine CNN and MSNBC if a dirty bomb went off in, like, I don't know, wherever the fuck city? I don't even want to name a city because, you know, I know you like your channel and all.
I do like my channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate the thought. But yeah, the psychological effect that would have, especially in today's current media, right? Think about this. We live in the information age. The more information you have, or the less information you have, the more you search it out, and the more outlets you have to search out at your whim. Like, everyone is... You can find any different perspective anywhere that you try to search the online web, right?
Right.
There are people who are making this out to be like the end of the world. There are people making this out to be like it's a giant nothing burger and everything in between. But they're all talking about it on some level because it sells. And the more that they talk about it, the more it's in our minds. And the more that it's in our minds, the more we think about it, the more we're looking for it. And so it just creates this vicious feedback loop of searching for information, getting information, searching, and then eventually it will taper out. But at this rate, I don't think it's going to take, like, it will take longer than 2 weeks. Unfortunately. We will be hearing about this for a heckin' long time. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not, Polly.
Oh, thank you for the $10 Unholy Reaper. And here's your share, Polly. Well, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Unholy Reaper, thank you for the donation over the Streamlabs. Oh, excuse me. For the background noise while I work on some ARs and start restoring a Maxim machine gun. Congratulations. Get your projects done.
I'm so jealous of this guy's day-to-day life. You have no idea. It's so much more interesting than when I don't know. Because all the firearm stuff I do for pure fun. I'm always curious that if, like, working on guns for Unholy Reaper has turned into a grind, or if it's still got that, damn, my job's cool, you know, kind of feeling to it.
Well, you know, my old roommate Balik, he wanted to take up the side hustle of building ARs.
Sure.
Like, later on. And apparently anyone can do it so long as you get the licensing to manufacture and sell them.
He wanted to go like what? Get his FFL, go to the Desert Sonoran Institute and get certified, and
essentially he'd get certified and licensed as an actual, like, ATF licensed firearm dealer for that kind of stuff. He'd manufacture, build them, and sell them to people for a profit as, like, a hobby, a side hustle to his main gig as an underwater archaeologist. He's not kidding. He's, like, completely serious about it.
I believe you. That was just a wonderful combination of words. That was great.
Yeah? You think so?
He wanted to build ARs in addition to his side hustles, an underwater archaeologist.
Well, no. The AR building would be the side hustle. His main hustle would be underwater archaeology.
I'm not complaining or criticizing. That was an awesome combination of words. What do you want?
I'm just trying to, like, make sure you got it right. All right, the side hustle is the AR building. The main hustle, yeah.
I get you. Don't call underwater archaeology a main hustle. That makes him sound like a treasure hunter looking for Blackbeard's trove. Like, you know what I mean?
Kind of.
Yeah. Well, you know, he is really interested on where those armadas were headed. You know.
Yeah.
What do you got there? You got a couple. Oh, you went to Burger King.
Yeah, I brought boyfriend Burger King.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good girlfriends bring men burgers.
Yeah, he's at work tonight, and he wanted to have lunch, but I didn't catch the message until dinner time, so I brought him both.
Nice.
I brought him 2 patties from home, and I slapped them in between a double quarter pounder patty, so he had 4 patties.
Damn.
It was a good day for him.
That's a lot of beef.
He's a growing boy.
All right.
I'm a good girlfriend, all right?
Unholy Reaper, he says, it tends to be repetitive when dealing with ARs and AKs, but it's the times when you get to work on old guns like the Maxim or the M2 and some random custom jobs and make it work still well. And that jobs that make it still worthwhile. You know what? I'm going to assume that you made sense and I can't read right. Okay. Yes.
Oh, I think he meant worthwhile, not workwhile.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, see, that's what exactly what he wanted.
Well, don't. I still take the blame because I'm still caffeinating here. I had a really weird sleep pattern. My sleep pattern is all off, guys.
Wasn't it never on track though? Like, don't you stay up to the wee hours of the morning every day and then go to bed and then wake up at like noon or something? Or am I mistaken in that? No, I'm correct. Okay, good to know. You're just not.
Okay. Well, what actually happens is that with clinically diagnosed insomnia, sleep irregularity, I've started to do this thing that's really bad. I don't know if you remember, but there was this, not exactly a conspiracy theory, but like, trash websites were publishing this one huckster charlatan scholar's idea that only in the modern era have we ever do we become accustomed to the idea of sleeping straight through 6 to 8 hours. That in the ancient world they didn't do that. For you see, Weebo, back in Roman times, they would sleep 4 hours or so, wake up, and then fuck around for like an hour to an hour and a half and do sorts of other things, like go pray to their evil pagan gods and then do stuff and meditate or whatever, whip their slaves, and then go back to sleep for another 4 hours. That this was the common, like 2 sleeps was the way that it works. And through a bunch of spurious use of ancient documentation, they pulled this information forth. First and second sleep, Lion Patriot says, yeah, that kind of thing, right? I think that I've accidentally fallen into that pattern, not intentionally, but it just reminded me. I remember when that article and that scholar's findings were going around on the interwebs. Yeah, that's what I'm tending to do right now. It's like, I can't sleep, and I eventually end up falling asleep for like a couple 3 hours, and I wake up and I can't go back to sleep. It's like, all right, well, I might as well start my day now, and I go do stuff for like 6-7 hours, research, go to run my errands, stop by campus, which I won't be doing anymore, of course, return books, pull articles, do some more research, come back home, and then it's like, wow, now I've hit the wall. I'm really feeling it. I'm going to fall asleep, and I'm going to fall asleep for like 6 to 8 hours. Here's my actual sleep, man. I'm going to wake up at like midnight. And it's like, no, just sleep for another 2-3 hours and then wake up and can't go back to sleep. And that's been my pattern for like a couple of weeks now. And it's bad, man. I don't recommend it. It's a terrible way to live.
Yeah,
so probably. So I was over at a friend's house and slept for like 3 hours. And this is the first caffeine I'm actually having of the day.
I had some morning caffeine. Instead of a Colombian roast from Folgers, my dad has been getting this other stuff from another country, but it starts with a P. I can't remember what it's called.
Polynesia.
Maybe?
That's not a country, but I'm trying to think of P places.
No.
The Peloponnesian Islands.
No. It starts with a P, though. To be fair, I'm shit at geography. Ask Balik. He knows. They tested me on my states in
Poland, of course. Jesus Christ,
Poland.
Lambie,
it's not Poland.
No, I was trying to think of P places, and I can't believe I didn't think of Poland. Speaking to a Pole girl.
It's a country in Latin America, most likely.
Polystiostian?
No. Countries that start with a P.
In Pop-Tart, it was a lady friend. What's your point? Peru. Thank you, Lion Patriot. God, why can't I blanking out on
Yes, it's probably Peru. Thank you, Lion Patriot. And it's
Peru.
actually really good. It doesn't have the same bitter taste as the Colombian stuff, which means that
Oh,
I
and
can
Lambie with
put,
Paraguay. There you go.
yeah, I can put less shit in my coffee, and it can be just straight up coffee at that point.
Mm.
Not Portugal. Peru. It's Peru. Peru, says Zelf for the blind. The real money is building AKs. Much harder, better paying, says Gil. Am I
Really?
saying that right? Is it Gil or is it Gil?
Hmm.
Seamus
I
Dirty
killed the
said,
president of Paraguay with a fork. What have you been doing?
yes.
Have you seen Gross Point Blank?
No.
You've never watched that movie?
No.
Ah, I love that movie. It's got so many moments of extremely dark humor in it. It's a guy played by John Cusack, Martin Q. Blank, who goes back to his 10-year high school reunion. He disappeared on the night of uh, the senior prom and went in, signed up for the U.S. military, went and joined the army, and then after doing testing, they found out that he had, and this is his line, what could only be described as a moral flexibility.
Oh, interesting.
I was loaned out to a CIA sponsored program, etc. So he ended up becoming like an active operative in terms of just like assassin, basically, and then ended up going
Ooh.
into business for himself. So he's a hired killer. He's a professional assassin, and but he's kind of become drained out on it and ends up going back to his 10-year high school reunion to see the girlfriend that he suddenly abandoned the night of the senior prom, with her waiting in her prom dress for him to show up, but he had actually disappeared and went and signed up for the army. It's him going back to Grosse Pointe, Michigan, hence the name of the movie, Grosse Pointe Blank.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of really great dark comedy moments in it, and he's in front of a mirror getting ready to go to the reunion party, and he's like practicing what he's going to say, and it's like, oh yeah, you're a pet psychologist. Oh, okay. I killed the president of Paraguay with a fork. What have you been up to?
Oh god, that sounds like a great movie, and you don't even have to like describe anything about it except for that quote.
Yeah, it is. It is an outstanding film, and John
I'm down.
Cusack and his former lady love, Minnie Driver, actually have a lot of really great chemistry, so it really works.
I know who John Cusack is, right? I know who that is. I've seen him before. Oh, yeah, I know who that is. I have trouble putting names to faces, so that's a thing.
Hmm. And if you're into 80s pop music at all, it's because it's supposed to be him going back to, it's like what, 1986, I'm going to say, high school reunion. The whole movie is just full of 80s music. It has two soundtracks, like, because it's just a collection of 80s pop music. So if you're into that kind of thing.
I'm down. I want to watch it. I gotta see this. I would write it down, but I don't have. Oh, wait, hang on. I
Oh,
just put this away.
and Eric Grindstata. Let's go with that.
What's it called again?
Grosse Pointe Blank.
We need to figure
Um,
out what movie to watch for our next movie night, and
yeah,
it's my night to pick.
that would be that. That's just an all around fun movie. It
Well,
is.
yeah, but
It's listed as a comedy, and yes, it's intended as a comedy, but there actually is really good action in it, and it's more of a dark comedy than it is a comedy. And then there's some absolutely sullen moments in it from time to time. It's overall it's just an extremely well written script. Um, his sister plays his secretary. Yeah, John Cusack plays like his executive secretary that's very much aware that he's a hired killer, and their chemistry on screen is fucking hilarious. Their dialogue is awesome.
all right, I will check it out. So I suddenly find myself with an overabundance of free time, Polly.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Where were we at with the movies? Whose selection
It's
was it?
my turn, but you didn't want to watch Shrek because you didn't think that it was a serious enough movie for what it is that we do this for.
Yeah, well, okay, but I remember that now. I remember you bringing
Hmm.
it up, and I was like, "It's serious enough." But I mean, the idea was that it's a movie that has struck some great chord that speaks to you in some kind of way, whatever that is. And I mean, I guess childhood nostalgia would count as one of those things, but it's
True.
it,
Okay, I like I said, I will come up with a better option. I just haven't a good alternate. I just haven't had like the time to wax nostalgic about my movie viewing experience thus far. I've been a little bit busy. But this was 2 weeks ago, so I have no excuse.
the
What movie could I get you to watch that just did something for me?
maybe maybe if I narrowed it down
Okay.
because like how we came across Pride and Prejudice to begin with, I was like, what is your idea of like really high flown romance in fiction? What is the great romance? Because you said you didn't appreciate the romance between Rick and Ilsa in Casablanca. And I was like, okay, fine, that's cool. What is your idea? What strikes the, and that's how you came up with that. Maybe I should narrow it down to that. What strikes a chord for you in this way?
Mm-hmm.
What's the great redemption story? What's the great, something along those lines? Would that help?
Yeah, that would work actually.
Okay.
Because right now I'm just like the entire collage of movies that I've ever seen
Yeah,
is in my
which
head, and I'm like,
that makes it a little tough, no question.
okay.
Zelthor says, "Wait, why are we in Noir Bar? What just happened?" Well,
Oh,
it's because Noir Bar is a fantastic show over on my
no,
channel, and by
this
all
isn't
means, check
Nora
it out.
Bar.
No, I
This
know,
is
but
my
just
bar.
people can't help but just rip it off. It's fine.
This is a cocktail hour.
This is Weeb Bar.
Okay, so
I somebody shit, I forgot to answer there. Somebody way earlier on said I thought you would be watching the debate. I am going to watch the debate later. I'm going to watch Razor Fist doing it because his um, come enjoy the snark with us type of
Loki.
it's
Yeah.
it's just him with his girlfriend that walks by occasionally in the background and leans over his shoulder and go, so what's going on? And him making like snarky ass comments the whole time, laughing at them. I like that kind of comedic approach.
Yeah, so
um
watch it through the lens of someone that you actually enjoy watching, not
yeah,
yeah.
and you get to it is the whole debate with the commentary, so it's like yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that any day over just straight the debate.
Mhm. I mean, don't get me wrong. If we all were to get together and watch the debate, I'd totally do that in a minute too. But the idea of just sitting by myself and watching the debate alone, when it comes to straight up presidential debates, once it's on the national level, I will do that. But at this level, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
I want some snark, man.
Okay, so Polly, what are we
Mm-hmm.
narrowing down movie night to for Weebo? Like,
Oh, really quick, Roderick's is Daily Wire and Stephen Crowder doing. Yep, I'm going to watch all of them. The Daily Wire ones are actually really funny, and Crowder's viewing parties are really funny too for the debates. I still haven't watched Short Fat Otaku's Dev and Scrumps. If I don't know if you guys watch Short Fat Otaku's
I
channel.
do.
Do you? Okay, cool. They do debate. I still haven't watched the last one, and I'm going to. Zelthor reminded me of it last night. They're tub thumping with Scrump. Yeah, there's good comedy, good material. So yeah, the narrowing down your movies. Great. I mentioned redemption because redemption story arcs, but they strike a chord with me. Self
Redemption.
reinvention, somebody obtaining, renewing, doing something new. That's why westerns speak to me.
Because they're redemptive.
Well, yeah, they're a little formulaic, but again, it comes back to that no idea is new, nothing original under the sun is never what you do, it's how it's done. It's like, I don't want an original story. I just want you to tell the story well. That's
Okay.
the Western gunfighter who meets the redemptive woman is classic material. And it is sometimes it's done terribly, but when it's done well, it just fucking rocks.
Okay. Okay. So I have redemptive story arcs. Should we do an alternate just in case?
Yeah, absolutely. Because like I said, that's a favorite of mine. Doesn't mean of yours. Um,
Hmm. Chat, do you have any input? Does
What's
anyone
something
have
that's
any input?
girly? Because I asked you about high flown romance. It shouldn't be about like guy stuff. This is your choice. What's some girly stuff?
Oh,
Uh, not that I'm not, and I don't mean that insultingly. I just mean
what's the girly stuff?
like I ain't watching no goddamn rom coms, man. I'm just not.
There are a few out there that I don't mind, but for the most part, they're more just like Weebo drinking fodder.
Weebo drinking fodder. I hear
Yeah,
that.
so I'll
I hear
only
that.
watch them if I'm getting drunk and or I have someone else to like bitch a fit about the movie. Those are movies I could enjoy with other people as opposed to movies that you have to watch by yourself because you're just like, I need to see this.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
no interruptions. There's only a
I,
few things that I'm that way about.
I'm being self focused here because I'm thinking like you know uh, greatest espionage thriller, best heist movie. Like I'm thinking of things I like. It's
Yeah,
just
actiony type things.
well,
Oh,
a
actually,
lot of espionage thrillers have very little action in them, and rightfully so. They're supposed to be tension between people, like, you know what I mean? Best noir film, because I'm
mhm.
really into noir, but I mean, again, this is all about me, and that's not right.
We could do story arcs.
I'd be all down for another romance film if you can think of another one.
Mm,
Like you said, like this was just it wasn't supposed to be the greatest one, but just an example of high flown fiction. That was fun watching that one. I would not have watched that by myself. If I could have watched it by myself, Pride and Prejudice, but it wouldn't have been nearly as enjoyable because I wouldn't. Okay, now who's this guy? Now what's up with I would have gotten lost if you hadn't been there to tell me what's what.
yeah. Oh yeah.
If,
But that was easy because I loved that movie for its romancy nonsense
wait a minute,
as well as its cleverness.
Rapier 83 says Polly kind of scares me. What? Why? That's weird. First time
Really?
I've heard that.
Polly scares you?
Wow.
That's funny. It is truly hilarious.
It is to laugh. Um,
Hang
yes, if
on.
you can think of another romance film.
I could think of something. Maybe we shall see.
Okay.
Um well, I have possibly one for a redemption story arc, but it also depends on whether or not you've actually seen the movie too, whether or not we're going to watch it. Um I could also think of some good artificial intelligence movies too.
Yeah, I mean, you're just coming off of an AI course and so forth, and
Mhm. Um
you know what I'd like to do is watch the episode "Measure of a Man," Star Trek Next Generation episode, where Data is put on trial as to whether or not he's actually a life form as opposed to an automaton that's the property of Starfleet.
yeah.
It Interestingly, it ends up being a very interesting episode in terms of AI. It came up in my philosophy of mind class is a number of times. One professor was very fond of it. I was very critical of that episode because I was like, well, stuff that we won't get into here because it'll take us down the road of criticizing it. I like that episode a lot. Don't get me wrong. It's just in terms of it's great in terms of Trek and in terms of fiction. It is not great in terms of expatiating the realities of AI.
Hmm.
The the
Ooh.
thing that makes Data and all Soong type androids Data is that Dr. Noonien Soong, the guy who created them, just did it somehow, full stop. Do you understand what I mean? It's almost like he had like the magic touch to make something happen, and they never explain it. And for the purposes of the fictional universe, it really works because it gets them out of the trouble of having to explain how is this robot alive, a sentient being unto himself, yet no one else can do it. Why hasn't anyone else did it? Because Noonien Soong was a mad genius that just managed to make it work somehow. Moving on.
I just thought of a movie. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
You know how my name's Weebo, right?
You know how
Um,
what?
you know how my name's Weebo, and it's not
I
because
am.
I'm a weeb. It's because of the movie Flubber with Robin Williams.
Yeah, the little Weebo
Did you
bots.
ever watch that movie?
I have.
Okay, then in that case, we can't watch that. Scrap
Oh,
that. Scrap that idea. So I was gonna make you watch Flubber and see it from my perspective because, you know, it was so significant to me that I decided to name myself after the little floating AI robot head person and my Discord after the movie.
we were Far and I were watching a Deadwing Dork live stream the other day. If you don't watch Deadwing Dork, check him out. He's awesome. Uh, and there was somebody in chat named Weeaboo Jones,
Oh
and both of
my
us were like,
god.
and we're like, both of us honestly were like, thief, thief.
Dude, that's been happening quite a bit more recently. Like, you know the Chatterbait streamer? I think her name's Melody or something.
I, you got me.
She is an anime avatar
Oh
kitty
yeah,
streamer.
oh yeah. I know. Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Yep.
Apparently, she's got a fan whose name is Weeaboo Jones.
Mm.
So I keep getting tagged in posts about this fan because people see them in the chat.
If you're flicking the bean to anime girls, it's fine, weebs. You don't need to.
Calm down.
All right.
Calm down.
All right.
Can I make you watch an animated movie? Even it doesn't have to be Shrek, but can I make you watch an animated movie?
Depends.
Okay.
I
It
ain't
would
watching no
be
goddamn Toy Story.
no, 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 God no.
Oh,
But they would be Pixar movies. I have two options. They're
okay.
movies about death. They'll make you cry. You don't sound enthused at the prospect of watching a movie that's gonna make you cry.
It's not even there are movies that break through my uh, testosterone infused masculine exterior, but actually, let me think. What are Yeah, there's movies that punch you right in the feels.
Yeah,
Oh, Lost in Translation. Oh, damn, that movie is sad.
because I was gonna make you watch Coco.
What's Coco?
It's a Pixar movie about the Day of the Dead. You still there?
Yeah. I was like, okay, I haven't even heard of this thing.
Okay. I think we found our movie because that's totally a good one, and you know it's significant. It makes you think. It made me have a little bit of an existential crisis. Yeah, or not the is it the Dia de los Muertos? That's the Day of the Dead, right? The direct
Sounds like it very
translation.
well could be.
Mm-hmm. Make Polly watch the opening scene to Up. No, 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 no. I'm gonna make him watch Coco.
I've
It was
seen. Oh, I've
between
seen
that.
Up.
Yeah, it's between Coco and Onwards, and Onward is still in theaters. But I don't know.
I
Do you want to watch the Spanish animated, or do you want to watch the one about wizards and shit?
What's the one about wizards?
Onward.
And what's this?
It's about dead people.
Is this? Wait a minute. Is this another Pixar film?
No, it's still a Pixar film. It's brand new. It just came out. Did not get as much advertising as it deserved.
Ugh. I I maybe I made a mistake when I said girly things. I don't know.
Hey, you cannot back out of this,
Yeah, I know.
Mister.
I know. No, I mean, the idea is that the whole point is it's your choice. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right, I will make you watch Coco because Rapier says Onward sucked. I thought it was good. I cried. I cried a lot. I cried a lot. I saw it with boyfriend. He could not get into the movie because every like 5 minutes I would go. It was bad. And then I tried to pass it off as him crying after the movie was over. Didn't work. Up was sad when you realized the kid's new father figure will be dead in a couple of years. Oof, says Lucky Pop Tart. Oh, why you gotta be like that? Okay. All right. All right. All right. I have other options too, Polly.
Ooh, Megon responded to me
Oh,
on Twitter.
yeah. What do you
Oh,
say?
Megon's awesome.
Were you waiting with like anticipation or whatever?
No, it was just accidental. Or that's just the first time I've ever talked to him on, or that anything on Twitter ever came up. Um, he's got either the first or the second best voice on YouTube.
It is very soothing.
Oh man, I'd get all the ladies if I had that guy's voice. All of them.
You have a nice voice.
Oh, what's that?
You have a nice voice.
What are you talking about? I'm scaring people in your chat.
You're scaring them for a different reason.
No.
Because you're wearing a hazmat suit.
No, that's
An
not
otter
even.
wearing a hazmat suit. We haven't even proven that COVID is infectious to otters yet, Polly. Jesus. You're like 8 steps ahead.
No, I forget who it was. They asked. They said, "I'm scared of Polly," and I said, "Why?" They said, "Because of your voice." And I was like, "See, a Megon has this soothing, come hither type voice. I've got this, not that."
Okay.
I don't know. It's not even come hither. It's just it's more the cadence than anything. I speed up and slow down. He speaks with this constant, consistent meter.
Yeah, that means it's easier to fall asleep to. Yours?
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
much.
I've fallen asleep watching Megon videos, and not intentionally. Like that guy's voice could be prescribed as a sedative. I swear, you could use the fucking syllables in his words as a metronome.
Perhaps. I don't know. I've never actually tried. Sargon of Akkad's voice I can fall asleep to. Or maybe it's just his content.
It went from compliment to low-key stab in the kidney. Right in between the ribs.
Yeah, it did. Ben Shapiro's voice is soothing, in my opinion, says Roderick. I don't know about that one. Honestly, I genuinely don't think that.
Well, Lucky Pop Tart says Ploy has hots for a Megon's voice, but also Arch Warhammer.
Oh.
Arch Warhammer's odd, man. He is Norwegian, I believe. I believe he's from Norway, but educated in Britain, and he sounds like all the way British boarding school Brit, but yet Norwegian, and his voice is it's very it's very proper yet extremely stentorian. It's great. It's great. If I ever wanted to hire someone to do live reads, it would be Arch Warhammer for sure.
Yeah. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
And I don't know, man. I sense an increasing hatred for, or not hatred, but speaking of Carl Benjamin Sargon of Akkad in contempt. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I still dig Sargon in a big way.
No, certainly.
I think his content is still fucking awesome. Yeah, okay, he's done some silly things like
who hasn't?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's the liberalist thing was a mistake. Big fucking deal.
That got a lot of laughs though.
It did, and rightfully so. And he kind of dropped and moved on. It wasn't the best move. And who the fuck figures that UKIP, a party founded for the very fucking purpose of, well, not wholly, but largely to pursue the purpose of Brexit. Who figures that one of the founders of it is going to go start his own Brexit party, thus completely undermine the point of UKIP and have UKIP fall apart after Sargon and Count Dankula decide to join up with UKIP? Weird. And people are like, "Oh, it's because Sargon joined." Oh yeah, totally. That's exactly what happened. And 100%. He got maligned by a bunch of news entertainers as the guy who joked about rape. And it's like, actually, he said he wasn't going to rape Jess Phillips, and Jess Phillips runs on a pattern of I am woman victim. Just the whole thing frustrated me. I mean, his run as an MEP produced one of the greatest moments in recent YouTube memory, in my mind, when he actually had the balls to stand in front of an audience of journalists, so-called journalists, and when they start asking him questions about the Jess Phillips thing over and over again, I don't even see any need to respond to any of your questions. It doesn't matter what I say or what I don't say. You're going to write articles, and I know exactly what you're going to do. You're a bunch of dirty, dirty smear merchants. And it's like, all right, you know what? For all the people that are like keyboard warriors hiding behind their computers going, Soygon and Soygon of Applebee's and oh, Sargon, he's not as smart as you think you are. Hey, you got the fucking balls to stand in fucking on stage behind a podium in front of a bunch of fucking journalists and call them dirty, dirty smear merchants? Jesus Christ, that takes nerve. He didn't give a fuck. He did it anyway. That's balls. Awesome stuff.
Zelthor the Blind in the chat says, you know what? On that liberalist thing, it's been 2 years and no one has been able to tell me why that was dumb other than cringy and gay. See, my interpretation of what Sargon was trying to do was create a movement of people who were of individual mindsets. That was, to me, why it wasn't ever going to work, because no one is ever going to agree if we're all completely our own people. Like, about issues. Now, that's probably my understanding, is not the understanding that everyone else has, but that was what I gathered from that whole debacle. That it was an attempt to unite all of the individualist types out there who didn't want to platform themselves with one side or the other. Create a movement of frigs going their own way.
Frogs.
Yes, frogs. Sorry. Yeah, I don't see the point of creating a group of... Well, I do see the point. The point is to have, like, that base of people that support this thing that you want to have happen, but I don't like the idea of uniting with a bunch of other people about something, because we're not going to agree on exactly anything. I like the idea of just voting the way that I want to for the person who best fits my needs. Because
you heard it here. Weebo's full on ANCAP. Got it.
No. Not what I said. I just refuse to identify with any group. Because then people can assign meaning to what that means. To who I am. Because I am defined by what that group represents rather than what it is that I feel. What it is that I want.
Well, there's certain ways that I don't have a problem doing it. I mean, I understand your point. There's a lot of value to your point, but I don't have a problem assigning myself the label of constitutional Republican, small r Republican. Saying that I believe in American values. Well, how are you defining that? Well, they're right there in the Bill of Rights, aren't they? Yeah. All 10 members. All 10 items in the Bill of Rights. Yeah, the whole list, the whole way down.
I mean, if you really wanted to simplify it, yeah, I'll get behind the Constitution any day. That's like...
Those are a lot of strong values that a lot of people in the world don't agree with, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, free press, free speech, right of your person and papers, and the Fourth Amendment, right to a speedy trial, that the sole indivisible and uncheckable political power should be the individual. Mm-hmm. I mean, like that is extremely anti-communist. That is not the collectivist way that they think. And it puts the rights. It very strongly puts the onus on the prosecutors to prove your guilt, as opposed to you having to prove your innocence. Yeah. As a very particular system of jurisprudence, like that's making a lot of strong, assertive claims as to what one believes. Like, and that's, yeah. And a republic is the best way to run a system, like small r republic, not political party Republican, because you can call yourself a liberal, but it's not like capital liberal. It's like I am a liberal because those are very liberal values, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it has a connotation assigned with it as well as the actual meaning, and that's
Sure
what I'm
does.
trying to avoid, is the connotation that
Sure.
everyone else assigns to it. Because no one else thinks, yes, the precise meaning of that exact identity is exactly how I will perceive you. No, they think, what do I see on Twitter? What experiences have I had with people who identify as these individuals? And so I find myself reluctant to actually take up any label in any capacity for any reason because I don't want that. And so someone asks me what do I identify as, I'm just going to be like, no, actually, better question. Ask me what my position on is on any policy that you're curious about because that's going to be more telling, I
Sure.
think.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The Roderick says, except for rape charges, Polly guilty until proven innocent, which is exactly where the system run awry. I guess that's where it's best said. I mean, that's why I get so tired of the American bashing stuff that goes on, where it's like America's always been racist. It holds the greatest ideals, and yes, sometimes she falls short of it, but it is
Mm-hmm.
the greatest system to uh, address those ills and has the highest minded individual rights ideals to um, see those things solidified. The system itself is what brought about the changes. It's not um, society evolved and blah 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 blah. Like you know what I mean? It's like the people forced America to be better, and a system was set up from the beginning that allowed those changes to happen. That's
Yes.
you know,
In
it
the
is a
onset, it was put forth
yeah.
as law. Polly,
Yes.
I hate to say it, but I hope you don't mind if we end a little bit earlier than we usually do. As in, I hope you don't mind if we end this stream on time
No.
for once,
No.
because I
No.
desperately want to finish
We agreed
unpacking.
to a 6 hour stream, and that's that.
Oh, so you do mind?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay, so what do you want to talk about for the next 4.5 hours?
What are your thoughts on the Alien Sedition Act?
What?
You
Excuse me.
ever heard of the Alien Sedition Act?
No.
Um, I'm just kidding. Anyway, it actually is a very interesting area of historical discussion. There were laws passed in the early United States that uh, made it a criminal offense to criticize the United States government, federal government, and made it possible to lock up and deport any illegal aliens on the spot. It was about the French.
Of course, naturally.
Well, the French were
Makes
flooding
sense.
into the very early United States. It came into effect under President John Adams. He was a big fan of it because the government was being criticized left, right, and center, largely by Frenchmen. And unbelievable amounts of the French were pouring into the former colonies, now states, and pushing the fledgling United States into helping France with her revolution against
Mm,
the French monarchy.
yeah, that makes
And
sense.
it's like, we cannot get involved in foreign wars. It was President Washington's hope that America would not become embroiled in foreign conflicts and foreign intrigue, for he felt this is what caused European
Oops.
politics to be so deeply interlocked into endless warfare. Largely, America has been successful at that. I mean, it doesn't sound like it, but it's
Not
true because,
currently, but
well, when you look at the endless treaties that were in existence, like the lattice of a house of cards set up treaties that were going on prior to World War One, where one archduke getting blasted leads to this domino effect of endless continental warfare. That's sort of what he had in mind when he was referencing that. Just the and having traditional enemies in the way that Britain and France were traditional enemies of each other and would go to war every so often, embroiled in those kinds of endless conflicts. And Spain or Portugal is going to war with this country, therefore we are drug along because we are the traditional enemy of said country as well. That kind of thing. This is what he was referencing. And John Adams didn't want America to get embroiled in that, but they were also decidedly un-American laws for obvious reasons, the Alien and Tradition Acts. Yeah, so they were rescinded. They were pulled back, and the next president, Thomas Jefferson, gave pardons to all of the people that had been convicted under them. But that was also Thomas Jefferson and his deep. He was deeply enamored with the French Revolution, largely because he had lived there for so long. And Thomas Jefferson had a dangerous and naive flirtation with revolution. He thought a revolution should happen every so often. Yeah. This is where this statement of, patriots and tyrants in the blood and a tree of liberty and so forth. And it's like, okay, I would ask anybody who cites that to he was talking about another American Revolution when he was saying that, and he was referencing Shays' Rebellion when he said that. He wanted to see another American Revolution happen in a very short time after the last one had already happened. And let's keep in mind, this is Thomas Jefferson, a true blue blood, a man who had never gotten his hands dirty with revolution, had never had to raise up arms against another man, a man who himself ran scared. When the British came to his own town, he was actually charged with treason for hightailing it so fast from the British. He abandoned his post, was ultimately found not guilty of it. But this is not for somebody of this sort to be constantly talking about men taking up arms. Well, yes, not gentlemen like himself, lesser men. The yeoman farmers he did so much talking about should pick up their muskets and fight the wars that my high-minded ideals come up with. And this is what I mean, but the dangerous flirtation of revolution. I'm not saying revolution isn't a good idea. I'm wholly behind the ideas of the American Revolution. It's just, it's one thing liking sex. It's another thing fucking every hooker in town,
I do. And on that note, Polly, please let me leave.
Okay, fine.
I would normally, obviously, we've had longer conversations, but unfortunately, I still have oodles and oodles to unpack.
No, I get it. I was just kidding when I said a 6 hour stream.
That's fair. That. Mm-hmm. I do. I'm just messing with you. So, I'll leave it with that. And thank you so much, Polly, for coming out to be with me, even though you were totally late.
Oh, COVID. No, I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah, if Polly's not here next week, you know why he's not here.
Well, no, you said last week that you weren't certain if you were going to be able to stream this week. So I'm happy that despite your unstable situation and your rapid move and then your rapid unpack and so forth, you're able to show up for cocktail hour. That's awesome. I was happy.
I'm a motherfucking machine, let me tell you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But I am exhausted, so I'm not like the best company to be keeping right now. And
no,
so
by all means, go rest and be comfy and finish packing or unpacking rather.
Okay. On that note, thank you to all who came out to watch, even though the debates are going on currently. Thank you to all who donated. Thank you to all who liked, commented, shared, subscribed to both myself and Polly. And thank you to all who have been in the chat viewing us and who's going to watch this later. I really appreciate y'all. You are what make this all happen. Cocktail Hour is brought to you by you. You know that. And Polly, do you have anything to show?
There it is. Just the link to my channel. All sorts of fun stuff goes on over there.
Ready.
What's that?
You had that ready.
Well, I just cut and paste YouTube and then type Polydub after it, like it, because it's yay. Because I've got that personalized thing. Anyway, all sorts of fun stuff goes on over there at Noir Bar and all sorts of great stuff. And Weebo's going to come by Noir Bar because she promised she would. And she won't get out of it.
Hey, I got free time now, so I mean,
hey guys,
I have no excuse not to now. I don't have to be up for an 8 a.m.
You don't need excuses. You keep saying hours, and we open the bar late, so I get it.
Yeah, well, I don't have to be up at 8 a.m.s now, and I don't have to go to work. So I mean, like, life's a breezy, yo. That made no sense. I'm tired. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Peace.
Have a good night, everyone.